car. My pastor got me out 2 hours later, and mysteriously the charges were dropped. But it was anger. I was angry because I felt disrespected in front of my home just because I didn't look like everyone else who lived over there. I'm a tax-paying person.
Yeah, Sean, I understand and I hear you. I absolutely hear it. And who wouldn't be vulnerable to that? On the other hand, Skip Gates is a very kind of high-ranking member of society. Is there a higher standard for him to have a stiff upper lip and kind of deal with it, be cool, or you think he was right if he expressed anger to express that anger?
I think one of the person said if there was a calmer head should have prevailed. I think if there was another officer in my incident, he would have calmed the officer. He may have calmed me. There wouldn't have been an issue. I wouldn't have had to go to jail for charges that were later dropped. Calmer head should have prevailed. There was another officer with Mr. Gates. I think he would have said to the officer, do you go to jail for yelling at an officer? I think he would have said to the officer, look, Mr. Gates, be quiet. Look, officer, let's go.
Everybody cool down. Let's get out of here. Sean, thank you very much for calling. Helene, what about the political ramifications for Barack Obama of raising this? He has so assiduously avoided getting sort of right in the race bullseye, and here he is with the Skip Gates incident.
Well, I'm not entirely sure I would agree with your earlier comment that he's avoided getting in the race bullseye. We've been having this discussion over this expectation, I think, because Barack Obama is black, that he is going to be taking on racial issues all the time, which I think in itself might actually be a little bit racist, because
But that's what I mean. Hasn't he? It seems to me he's avoided taking on very clear racial issues.
But he did it just now. He did it last week at the NAACP. He did it in Philadelphia. He's done it certainly more than President Bush or President Clinton or any other president. So I think he's done it less than perhaps we would expect a black president to take it on. But that in itself is my point, is like our expectations, are tinged by our own background and what we expect him to take on race more because he's a black guy. Race, sort of refers to white people as well.
Sure.
I think for Obama, though, it's when he does talk about race, that's what sort of surprised me at first. He's very, very comfortable. This is a guy, I think, who's very comfortable in his own skin, and he's very comfortable talking about it, and he talks about it, and he seems to have a lot of confidence in his ability to show that he can bridge both sides, and he can, but he also tends to be pretty matter of fact about it, I think.
We're going to take a short break here. We'll come back to this. Jack, I want to hear you further. And Liz Halloran, Helene Cooper, we're so glad you're with us. We're looking at a week in the news, and what an interesting week. Listeners, you can join us. What's your top story this week? 800-423-8255 is our number. 800-423-TALK. I'm Tom Ashbrook. This is On Point. We'll be right back.
Support for On Point comes from the listeners of WBUR Boston, where the program is produced. Loomis Sales, researching and investing for institutions and individuals with a sustained commitment to giving back to the community. More at loomissales.com. And Charles River Apparel, outerwear for athletic events, corporate gifts, and uniforms. Charles River Apparel, the outerwear company. charlesriverapparel.com.
You're listening to On Point on Michigan.
Northbound, it looks like near the Woolbrook Kniff exit. It's a rollover accident reported, at least the right lane block, but traffic getting by, not too much of a problem. We do have 696 closed now between 275 and Telegraph for the weekend. Watch for multiple lanes closed on 696 anywhere from Telegraph all the way over to I-75. At some points going down to a single lane in each direction. M10 The Lodge scheduled to close at 8 Mile Road sometime after 10 o'clock through 5 a.m. on Monday morning. Know before you go, check out Bavarian BMW real-time traffic on the web at WWJ.com. Lance Howard, WWJ News Radio 950.
Here is the exclusive WWJ AccuWeather forecast from meteorologist Kate Walter.
Mostly cloudy tonight, low 64. A couple of showers and thunderstorms across the area later tonight into tomorrow. Some could become severe. Otherwise breezy tomorrow with clouds and sun, high 78. Partly cloudy and breezy tomorrow night, low 62. Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm around, high 80. For the long range, change. Monday, times of clouds and sunshine, high 83. Tuesday, some sun with a thunderstorm possible in the afternoon and a high of 83. The marine forecast, winds tomorrow out of the south-southwest at 15 to 25 knots with gusts past 30. Waves will average 2 to 3 feet on the lakes Erie and St. Clair and 3 to 5 feet on Lake Huron. The Detroit River will have a moderate chop. It's poor visibility in any shower or thunderstorm. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Kate Walters on WWJ News Radio 950.
Thank you, Kate. It's a southwest wind at 8, 59% humidity, steady barometer, mostly cloudy skies right now and 75 degrees. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 8s. WWJ News Time, 9:40.
Southgate Ford's offering tremendous zero-down sign and drive lease deals on 2010 Ford Fusions. Now through August 3rd, qualified lessees can lease a 2010 Ford Fusion starting at only $323 a month for 36 months with no money down. Not even first month's payment and no security payment required. Tax, title, and plates extra. Southgate Ford's also offering 0% APR financing for up to 60 months with approved credit through Ford Credit Financing or factory rebates up to $5,500 when you purchase other select new Ford models. And you already know Southgate Ford has a great selection. Southgate Ford is Downriver's fee-free dealer. Southgate Ford doesn't charge the hidden extras like document or extra titling fees, saving their customers hundreds. And Southgate Ford pays top dollar for trade-ins, and they need them. So why go elsewhere? Go to Southgate Ford, where you can drive the Ford difference. Southgate Ford, located on 4th Street between Eureka and Pennsylvania, just minutes off I-75.
WWJ News Time, 9:41. Michael Jackson's former attorney says the death investigation has become a full-fledged criminal probe, with authorities looking toward the kind of court case they could build against the pop star's personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray. Attorney Mark Garagos, who won an acquittal for Jackson at his sexual molestation trial, says this indicates investigators are following a trail that involves purchases of drugs by Dr. Murray and possible shipment of drugs to Jackson's home. Octomom Nadia Suleiman has signed an agreement for each of her 14 children to earn $250 a day to star in a reality TV show. Collectively, the kids will earn $250,000 over 3 years, provided the judge approves the contracts. A European production company, iWorks, has inked a deal with Suleiman. iWorks produces NBC's mega hit, Biggest Loser. WWJ News Time, 9:42.
This is Rewind.
The judges left town, Harvey's quit, and I'm having trouble getting deputy.
July 24th, 1952.
I think you better go while there's still time.
The opening of High Noon, starring Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly.
If you won't go with me now, I'll be on that train when it leaves here.
I've got to stay.
This date in 1964, the Rolling Stones had to run for safety after a concert audience in England mobbed the stage. 1979, the Reverend Richard Penniman speaks at a revival meeting about the dangers of rock and roll.
I am the emancipator. I am the originator.
You know him better.
Hi. This is Little Richard.
As Little Richard. And July 24th, 1980.
Finish the sauces artwork.
Peter Sellers died.
Tangle with me. I'm a trained expert in karate.
Inspector Clouseau was 54.
My hands are lethal weapons.
I'm Brandon Brooks.
There is no need for you to speak unless I ask you a question.
And that's Rewind.
Some things in life you just have to wait for. Now, weather and traffic isn't one of them. Introducing First Forecast Mornings, weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. on WWJ TV. Twice the weather, twice the traffic, and news headlines from the Detroit Free Press. So now you can get what you need and get on with your day. First Forecast Mornings, weather and traffic without the wait.
MichiganHalfOff.com. MichiganHalfOff.com. All the hottest summer fun deals are here.